In the fall of 1987, I packed up my stuff and I moved to Ohio to go to college. Grew up in Detroit, left my family behind, left behind in Michigan a girlfriend. I dated this great girl the whole summer after I graduated high school, and we actually went to different colleges. She started a month before I did, and I kind of had the feeling this girl was losing some interest in dating me. And she said, "You'll understand once you get to college." And I did understand when I got there, because there's all these girls, hundreds and hundreds of beautiful freshman girls. And but I was excited about college, taking new classes, meeting new people, doing new things. I really thought I was going to be a soccer star. Maybe you've seen my video. I'll give you a link to it, of what happened to my soccer career, which was kind of a sad story, but it turned out okay. But one of the first guys I met when I was in school was a guy named Mark Murdoch. And Mark and I became best friends, and we would hang out together. And every night after dinner, we're going around campus to where people were hanging out and meeting girls. Man, this is back before social media, where you had to go meet people in person, in real life, and talk to them. And so we met a whole bunch of girls, and we're getting bunch of phone numbers, and we were just really a lot of fun time. But we only did that for a couple of weeks, until one day we're up playing pool. The student center had 2 pool tables, and so we're up there shooting some billiards, me and Mark and a couple guys. And there's another table right next to it, and these people come up, and it's a guy, I think his name was Jim, and his girlfriend. And I met Jim at some kind of student orientation, and yeah, this is my girlfriend, Kathy. And I was like, wow. Whoa, this girl is a knockout. I'm like, "Hey, Kathy, I'm Jeff. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?" She said she's from Vermont. I said, never met anybody from Vermont. I couldn't even find Vermont on a map. And so while we're all kind of shooting pool and making some little wagers and having some fun, I keep going over and talking to this girl named Kathy. And I'm like, man, she is beautiful. She's cool. She's funny. She's got a great personality. Very attracted to her. And I'm like, man, geez, this girl. And so when the night was over, I'm walking back to the dorm, back to Bachelor Hall with Mark. And I turned to Mark Murdoch and I said, "Hey, that girl, Kathy, that's the girl I'm going to marry." He said, "Oh, come on, man. What are you talking about?" He said, she's got a boyfriend." I said, "Not for long, she doesn't." And I said, "And I have a girlfriend, right? We can make both those things go away." So I started pursuing a friendship with this girl, Kathy. I did go back up to Michigan one weekend and broke up with my old girlfriend, and actually never talked to her again. She clearly wasn't the one, even though she was awesome. And I came back and I committed myself full time to pursuing Kathy. Now, the way that I did it, and this is a strategy I recommend. A lot of people don't like getting caught in the friend zone. I didn't mind going into the friend zone. I can fight my way out of the friend zone. And so we had a friend group that kind of developed. I think it was like 7 of us, and we would hang out and do everything together, right? It was me and Mark, it was Kathy, her roommate Lori, Lisa and Alicia, a guy named Steve who lived in our dorm, Steve Severance. And we all started hanging out together. And over time, Steve and Lisa started dating. And then I was pursuing Kathy pretty hard. She was fighting me off. It took a couple of months, to be honest with you. But I deployed the strategy used by dirty dudes throughout all of history, which is I just was a friend and was a shoulder for her to cry on and an ear to listen. And when she complained about her boyfriend, that was my chance. And she'd be like, "Oh yeah, blah, 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 about her boyfriend." And I'd be like, "Oh, I can't believe he treats you like that. You know, if I had a beautiful girlfriend like you, I'd never treat you like that." So it really only took me about 8 weeks. And she finally realized that I was the one. And we started dating. And by the way, I tell that story when I do sales training to people that work in professional outside sales. That's the same way you lose customers, right? When you take them for granted, and some other company, some other sales rep, some other supplier comes in, "I can't believe that company's treating you like that. I can't believe they take you for granted." And that's how you lose customers. The same way you lose boyfriends and girlfriends. And so Kathy and I started dating, and it really turned out super great. And people ask me, so basically it was love at first sight, right? And I know what they mean, but the truthful answer is no. It wasn't love at first sight. It was attraction at first sight. I was infatuated. I was intrigued. I was, probably a little lustful, to be perfectly frank about it. That I thought this girl was beautiful and funny and great personality. I liked how she smelled, which I know sounds weird, but I think that's an important thing. I thought she was sexy. I loved her personality. I loved spending time with her. But the truth is that love comes later. No matter how into somebody you are, you can't love somebody romantically, when you first meet them, right? Because there's a misconception. A lot of those things I mentioned are feelings that people have, and people think that love is a feeling. Love is not a feeling. Love is a decision. Love is a choice. You choose to love someone, right? You choose to stop loving someone. Right? But love is not a feeling. Sometimes there's feelings that accompany love, but love's not a feeling. Love is, it's a choice that I am putting your needs above my needs no matter what, that I will do anything, I will be anything. And so over time, romantic love started to grow between the two of us. We found out that we had more and more in common, had some similar goals in our lives, wanted some of the same kind of things. And so we dated this was all within a couple weeks of, I think I met her 2 weeks into starting college. And so we started dating in November. I met her in September, started dating in November, and we spent every day together. We'd have lunch together every day, dinner together most every day. We'd study together at night. And we just grew closer and closer. And I started really, really enjoying time with her and looking forward to it. And after about 3 years of that, I got to the point, and people said, well, how do you know? How do you know that she's the one? And for me, I got to a point where I honestly couldn't picture my life apart from being with Kathy. I couldn't imagine being with anyone else, right? That I just knew in my core that she is the one for me. But it was after 3 years that I said, okay, I know she's the one I want to be with for the rest of my life. So I proposed. Maybe I'll make another video someday about the proposal, which was a super awesome, fun night. And she accepted and said she wanted to marry me. And a year later, right after we graduated, in fact, the same day that we graduated from college, we got married that night. And we have had an amazing life. Over time, we just became more and more and more unified. Over time, we developed, this is something that magically happens, but we developed over time a common purpose for our lives. What we want to accomplish that's bigger than ourselves, things in service to other people. We've had some amazing adventures. I've told you some on this video, on this channel. I'll probably tell you more in the future. But we have done amazing things together. We've been to amazing places. We've spoken on big stages to tens of thousands of people. We've had opportunities to serve others that brought us closer together. We've had some hard times though too. We've had some downtimes. We've had some failure that we had to deal with, some loss that we had to deal with. We've had days and weeks and months where things weren't going that great, right? Love is a choice. And you can love someone even when you don't like them. And there have been days that I didn't like her. There's been days that I couldn't stand her. But I always loved her. And thank God the same she had for me, right? Can you imagine being married to someone like me? I'm a knucklehead. I say ridiculous things. I'm selfish and self-centered sometimes and not appreciative as much as I should be. And in 1,000,001 weaknesses, right? I'm so much of a worse husband than she is of a great wife. And someone said, wow, the way you talk about her, you think she's perfect. And I'm like, well, she's not perfect, but she's perfect for me. The reason I decided to make this video today, I don't know if anyone's still even watching this, but today is Kathy's birthday. So I was thinking, boy, what could I do for Kathy? She doesn't like it when I spend a bunch of money on her. But this is my little tribute to Kathy on her birthday, is to let the world know how much I love her and to tell the story of how we first met. And Kathy, she doesn't even watch some of my videos, I don't think. She's had decades of my nonsense. But if you are watching this, Kathy, I want to make sure you know that, I loved you then. I love you still. I love you always, and I always will. Happy birthday. I love you, honey. Everybody else, hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned something a little bit about relationships. If you like these videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button, and hopefully have a bunch of great new videos coming out to you over the next few weeks and months. God bless.